Look at this hunk of junk. Anyway, it's like a 86 or 87 SuperMagna. It's got the 4 exhausts shooting at your face. Apparently it's been sitting here for about 10 years. Been used as a cow scratching post apparently. Seats busted off of it. Air cleaners, whatever that is, busted off of it. Anyway, it should be fun. See if we can get it loaded up with these flat tires and get it home and clean it up. We'll go from there.
Maybe it doesn't vroom.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it doesn't vroom.
It doesn't vroom.
Let's go find our real motorcycle. Let's go.
This is a real motorcycle, son.
No, our one that we had. Our black one.
Yeah, this one's...
Let's go find the black one.
We don't have it anymore, kiddo.
It's here at the farm.
No, it's not. I sold it.
Okay.
So apparently, this thing won't roll because the rear brake's stuck on. You can see right here where the stop is, and it's forward of that because it won't. Come on. So we're gonna put that adjuster all the way to the back, and I found an appropriately sized rock. We're just gonna whack it. And now, whack it a little bit more. Now it should roll. Let's see. Yay! All right, now let's get this son of a gun on a trailer. Yeah, I'm sure this is gonna go well. Can't believe that worked. Let's get it strapped down and go home. There we go, all strapped down and ready to go. This thing is quite a bit junkier than I thought it was going to be. I hope that holds. Maybe I should take that off. They cut the baffles out of this. I bet it's loud as hell. So here we are at home. Got under this little canopy here. Hopefully the video isn't too crappy. Figure we'll get a power washer after it. That's gonna be customized. Anyway, figure's been sitting out at a farm for at least 10 years, so a little pressure washer action isn't gonna hurt nothing. We can get it as clean as we can, and then take a good look at it and start on what we're going to do next. I guess see if we can get it to run. Here we go. I don't know why that's in there. So it is an actual 112 degrees today in hot ass West Texas desert. So we're having to spray it off pretty quick. But you know, I wasn't a fan of that red until we made it shiny. This is horrible. I might consider painting this back red. This is actually really pretty. I'm gonna have to fix that. Those few, you know, I'm gonna have to chase down some rust up in some places. I really like the wheels. I don't know why, if it's the vintage thing, especially this back one. That's, you know, a solid wheel. I just think it's cool looking. There's so much wrong with this. So many things I want to change, like the headlight. I'd like to put a more modern style. I don't know exactly what yet. I want to get rid of this big ugly gauges. See if we can't come up with something a little more sleek. Of course, the bar end that's, you know, bent. The old man at the farm said that the cows use this thing to scratch on, and he's picked it up dozens of times over the years where it's been knocked over in the mud. But anyway, at least it's a little cleaner now. Let's get it pulled in the garage, throw some Marble Mystery Oil down the engine, let it sit, and then just get PB Blaster on. Absolutely just soak this thing in oil. Make sure we can get everything freed up. If we have to take out some bolts, that will be easy to come out like this. Well, I'm kind of freed up now, but that shouldn't be that rough. But let's get in the garage and some shade and go from there. Let's see if this thing's gonna hold some air. Probably not, because there's no valve stem in that one. Lovely. How about the back here? Let's see what happens. Man, that stinks. Going up a little bit. Now let's get it in the garage. Well, my filthy garage. But now that we got it cleanish, let's start spraying some PB Blaster all over it. I'll just work that back and forth a couple times. Ooh, so nice. It's like a butter. Like a butter. Well, here's the first spark plug out of here. Covered in mud. Smells like oil, maybe some old gas, something, but it's better than being dry and rusty. So hopefully these cylinders will be all right. We'll get them cleaned up with a vacuum cleaner down there. So that way they don't push a bunch of dirt and mud down in there. And then we'll fill them up with PB Blast and some Marble Mystery Oil and let them sit overnight. Come back tomorrow and see if we can't turn this thing over. Ooh, look at this. Yeah. Well, just discovered something horrible. Can you see in there? That is all rust. Where's my phone at? This is not going to be fun to fix or replace. Yeah, can you see in there? That is solid rust. Might try one of those reliner deals. I've always wanted to mess with one of those anyway. See if that works. If not, we're gonna have to find a replacement. This does have a big old ding right there. It's gonna be hard to take out anyway. Or I wonder if we can find a different tank. Nah, I like this tank. All right, well, get back in the morning and see if we can turn this thing over. Yeah, so about that lining. I don't think that's gonna work. Guess we'll be looking for a new tank, maybe a custom one. I don't know, I kind of like the way this one flows with it, but that stinks. So what was supposed to be an overnight soaking of PB Blaster turned into 3 months of soaking. You know, life gets in the way. But started taking all this apart before we start turning over the engine, and look at that. Holy Jesus. That's the entire airflow that would have gone into the engine. I wonder how long that was there. Here's our air filter. The tank has a giant hole in it in the 3 months. At least I was looking for a new tank. Found a couple that are kind of yucky, and they want a lot of money for them. Anyway, I got a battery that I'll be picking up here in a little bit. Put a little more PB and everything. Getting our airway clear. Making sure nothing's going to get in our engine. Got our tank off, of course. So, yeah. I'm going to get that battery put in. And we'll see if this thing will still turn over. And go from there. Let's see if we can't bust this thing out of there. Ooh. Ooh. Damn. Look at that. Just dust. I wonder how old that is. Yuck. Still. Stab, 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 stab. Get on out of there. I think I made it worse. Oh, it's in this end too. This entire tubes were just chock full of mud daubers. Well, there it is. Look at that. Whole thing's full. Alright, I'm going to finish busting this out of here. And then we'll see if it'll start. Or turn over. And then start. And then drive. Or ride. Sure. Alright. So let's spray some more looby-dooby in there. Just for fun. New battery in. Let's see if the key turns. Oh, lights. Lights up here. Run. Let's see if it turns over. Ooh. There's no safe place to stand, I guess. There we go. So, when it turns over fine, didn't sound like it had any kind of stutter in it, like there's any rust rings it was trying to fight through. So, I'm going to throw the spark plugs back in here and let's see if we can get it started. I don't know if I showed them in the last earlier video, whatever. There's the spark plugs. They're pretty sooty. Like this thing was definitely running rich. Maybe it had a little oil leaking in there. Or maybe the previous owner put a bunch of oil in there before they let it sit. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to spritz, spritz, spritz. Clean these up with some brake clean and a wire wheel. Get them shoved back in there. Look, they're so shiny and clean. Can you see? Nice. A little two-stroke and gas here. Let's see what happens, I guess. Key on, engine run. Let's just hit it and see. I don't know how that's going to work, but let's see. Hold the throttle all the way open. Gotta get up in here. I don't know if this is going to work. Hoot nanny. Got some smoke coming out of there, so it's doing something right. Well, I guess we'll pull one of these plugs and check for spark, which we probably should have done before in the first place. Alright, hopefully y'all can see that. Let's turn it over again and see if we get any spark out of here. Whoa! We got spark and it's trying to start now. I guess it just needed all that gas and whatnot to sit there. So now let's plug the spark plug back in and then start it. Let's see it start. See how much junk comes out of them tailpipes. Come on, baby. It's got all that PB blaster, no telling what other gunk in there from sitting. It's gonna have to try and burn through. It runs! That's awesome. Let's do it again. definitely looks like the disease-giving kind of smoke. All right, I'm gonna wire up or plumb up some kind of, I guess, gas tank here. See if we can't get gas into the carbs and keep it running. Don't know how much y'all can see, but up in here and then right here, we got the little float bowl screws out, and they leaked out some gunk. So I mean, it's not seized up at least. Not real sure if it was just old gas. I mean, you can see it coming out. I think that's just gonna be old gas, but at least it's liquid, not jelly. Not complete varnish. Let's spray some carburetor cleaner through there. See if I can't clean them up a little bit without, you know, having to take them off. I just want to see if we can get this thing to run. And then, well, that's not promising. That's just filling up carb cleaner, not going anywhere. So anyway, I'm gonna spray a bunch of junk in there. See if I can't get some gas to flow. Get me some kind of a little gas tank hooked up here. See if I can't get gas to flow out of these carbs. And then try getting them to start again. So I took this cover off, and I just want y'all to see that this is what every inch of this thing looks like. Just big old dusty cobwebs and mud daubers. I can't wait to get every inch of this thing scrubbed down and looking pretty again. So if you follow this around, I got it hooked up to this little fuel tank. Right now it's not pressurized. But I think I might hook it up and put like 1 or 2 psi through it just to see if it'll flow and start coming out of the carbs. And if it does, then we'll plug up the bowls and then see if it'll start. We turned it on and shot fuel everywhere. So there should be a tiny bit of pressure in there now, even if the fuel pump doesn't work. Let's see if we can catch fire. Oh, it's trying. It's trying. It's definitely not hitting on all cylinders, but let's see. Probably help if we had a choke, but the choke is busted. Something else fix. Hey! I think it might be running on 2 cylinders. And it's not real happy about it. Alright, I'm going to check and see if there's any fuel left in here. Because I think we exploded most of it out, which might have cleared out the carbs and let them get gas, honestly. But it's probably not good for gaskets and seals and anything else in there. So let me throw some more gas in here, check everything over, and see if we can get this thing idling. And a one mo again. Let's see. Oh no! It's definitely not happy, but it's starting to clear up a little bit more and more. Starting to hit. It sounded like we hit all 4 cylinders here for a second. Let's see if we can get it to go again. run. There it goes, it's idling. I want to get the back tire jacked up. These tires are absolute garbage. This one doesn't even have a valve stem. Boop, so we're not going to be riding it. But I'd like to get the back end jack up. Oh, and the clutch is hydraulic and is not holding hydraulic fluid. So we won't be able to ride it, but I'd like to get the back end up, see if we can't get in the gear, make sure the transmission is going to turn the wheel. And I think we're going to call that a video. I'm going to order some tires, show y'all how to get those mounted at home instead of spending whatever it costs to have a tire mounted these days. Order slave cylinders, master cylinders for the clutch, probably for the brakes too, or the front brake. The rear brake is mechanical. If y'all remember, that was stuck on, so we're gonna have to bust all this apart and get that loosened up. So yeah, let's get the back tire jacked up, make sure it's gonna go into the gear, so at least we know we have a transmission. Okay, remember kids, don't try this at home. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is barely off the ground, but it's off the ground. I'm gonna try and start it. Just, I guess, kick it into gear without a clutch. It might make horrible noises. It might crash through all my junk. But let's see. Life's an adventure. Didn't sound happy about it, but it did it, I guess. Alright, well, I mean, this thing's been sitting for at least 10 years. But we got it running. And the back wheel turned a little bit. So, that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to order some parts. Get tires. I have to replace this. Probably a bunch of lines. Fix the rear brake. And in the next episode, we're going to go ride this thing. I'm excited. Y'all have fun out there.